Hello everyone, I'm Dylan. Welcome back to No More Future. This game is a little bit sad, so that's rewarding. My character in the game is dying. Below the game, you'll sign these papers. The rest of your memories of those dark days are unclear. The more you try to remember, the more details escape your grasp. In your head, what should be a simple sequence of actions and events. I'll die either way. What difference does it make to you? Dates. Isaac, I swear, don't do this to me. Places. Ignore the crowd, just rest and relax. Take care of them. People. The tumor is progressing even faster than we thought. We need to speed up our preparations and fast. Everything clashes together in a maddening amalgam monstrosity, devoid of substance or purpose. Does it even matter anymore? You made your choice and now you'll die with it. Put me over my body! There was one moment you recall, though. One perfect photo of your last moments, forever imprinted on your very soul. Its details crystal clear even now. I recall a dark room, hidden far beneath the earth. I recall many faces staring down at you from windows all around, either working on computers or merely watching you draw your last breaths. You recall a deep mist, cold and damp, stalking in the corners of the room, sometimes even seeping into the glass you were looking through to tickle your skin and chill the blood in your veins. No, that last part can't be right. You were in a laboratory, not a haunted mansion. And yet, in those final moments, perceiving reality for what it truly had become quite a challenge, like reality had somehow lost its touch on you, replaced by something else. Or perhaps you were simply going insane. The cold quickly became unbearable. You felt as though you were walking through a blizzard in the nude. You would have probably laughed at the silly mental image had you been capable of it, despite the temperature outside. The inside of your throat was coarser than a desert. You weren't going to last long. It was painful, obviously, by now. You could lose consciousness for the final time at any point, for any reason, and each time you realized that you felt an inexorable moment reaching closer and closer. Distractions. You needed to find some distractions. You reached forward with your finger, as much as your body would allow, and touched the thin but sturdy glass that now separated you from the tenebrous room before you. It was remarkably warm to the touch for some reason. You felt the urge to leap forward and hug that glass with everything you had, wrapping every limb at your disposal around it, tightly as you could. But, after a long struggle that almost drained you of what little energy you had left, you were forced to shuttle with just your finger. How pathetic, and how ironic, too. Only now did you realize the absurdity of your decisions. You traded your bed in the hospital for a coffin in a laboratory. You couldn't help but chuckle at the thought, as much as your body allowed you to, anyway. It was more of a deep, raucous cough than anything else, really. Hey! What you looking at? She never left her side that day. She made a promise not to do so even now. Hello! Someone's in a good mood. That's good. They do say laughter is the best medicine. I would know. I take the garbage out of my friends all the time, and look at me now. Healthy as an apple. Right. Those who appear the most happy are usually the most sad. Somehow she knew that you could tell. Her smile became fainter as she sat down next to your capsule and rested her open palm right on top of your finger. This is it. Couple more minutes of waiting and then it's all or nothing. How do you feel, kid? I'm great. It's great. I couldn't pierce the glass with my weakened voice. Nevertheless, she grimly laughed as she peered into your sickly eyes, just a few steps away from total oblivion. Scared, huh? I get that. Can't say I blame you. I'd be freaking out too if I was in there with you right now. Her smile darkened somehow, as if pondering on the eventuality that this may indeed be in vain, but it lasted only for a second. She turned to face you once again. Her face was as confident as ever, perhaps even more than it had ever been. I'll tell you what! I told you the others. You're going to get through this. I know you will. You're going to win this battle, for all of us, and I'll be here waiting for your triumphant return from the dead. Her tone was firm but fond, and every word beamed with an immeasurable degree of pride and confidence. In a way, she almost felt like family in that moment, like the mother of your father you steadily wished was at your side. And you can bet we're throwing a party once you wake up too. There's gonna be cake, there's gonna be soda, maybe and all those weird party games for nerds that I can't understand for the life of me, like spin the crabs. What? She couldn't help but laugh at her own remark, stupid as it was. In your mind, she smiled. You smiled and laughed alongside her. If nothing else, it was a nice thought to go sleep on. You best not ditch your prior party, Isaac. You know what I mean? You nodded as best as you could. You weren't going to miss that party. Of that you were sure. And if you were truly doomed not to attend, you still give death a booty kicking for the ages trying to get there. The freelance ears perked up as she heard something you couldn't quite make out. She looked to the balcony up top where her colleagues and assistants were preparing their machines for the procedure and gave them a thumbs up. She turned to face you one last time as she got up from her improvised seat on your tube. Right, yeah, I better be going now. It's about time. See you on this side, kid. Don't keep me waiting too long. You then felt something tickle your nose, like a feather brushing right underneath your nostril. After that, a gentle smell of honey and sugar began to overtake you from within. It burns! You felt your hand, now devoid of all strength, fall limp on your chest as your eyes rolled upwards and your eyebrows shut tight. After that, you felt nothing at all. Just like real life! Yay! It's been some time. Sephiroth! Bump, 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 bump. You recall that fateful afternoon and the nightmares that followed for what must have been the 20th time now. I forgot I called myself Sephiroth. 2 weeks have passed since your transition, and you still can't wrap your head around everything that's happened since. It is I, Sephiroth. It doesn't make any sense. None of this does. Your life certainly hasn't been the same since it ended. Supposedly ended, anyways. That was a sentence you certainly never mentioned of sinning. Though, to be fair, you never mentioned things turning out this way for you either. When you first woke up, it felt like you just won the lottery. Everything, especially your own body, felt so much different than it did when you last went to sleep. But you felt! Surely that meant that transition had succeeded. But it wasn't that simple. You know that going in, and you know that even now. You try your best to push these thoughts to the back of your head as you grow tired of reminiscing, especially on memories of bitter as these. Not out here. Not right now. Not ever again. Try to reassure yourself as you gaze out the window of your carriage. The ride in New Relay is short and, at least so far, uneventful one. The MAG train is fast and rather quiet, at least on the inside. You pity anyone who might accidentally find themselves too close to it as they darts through the countryside at the speed of light! The sun hasn't fully popped out yet. The clouds hang though. Cloud! Where's Cloud? Reddish hue, and you never got to see chances for your life. The clouds themselves curl and twist on the horizon, morphing every minute into something different. Meanwhile, the sun highlights their white bodies with its red and yellow lights, like an artist painting a canvas. Such a shame, you think, that views like this only are available so early in the day, when so few people can properly appreciate them. What a silly thought, after all. You no longer need to sleep or even rest. Ooh! You can see the sun rising from the horizon any day you want now, so long as you remember to set your inner alarm clock correctly. That's creepy. Certainly, you can do that, but you ultimately decide against it. It would probably ruin the magic a little too soon. A warning comes over the intercom. Warning, warning, boss fight for some reason. No! You're about 5 minutes away from New Relay, as we'll see. You've still got some time to waste as you travel to your destination. Better make the most of it. Tired of gazing through the immaculate glass, you take a brief look around the room for the umpteenth time. You're no stranger to trains, but you're not used to traveling long distances as you'd like. You quickly grow accustomed to the ins and outs of the system all the way back to high school, and it turns out planning a trip to the New Vegas City isn't really incompatible with going to school you used to be back in. It's not really as exciting as the posters passed around marketed to be, but you know what? I'll take it. Seats definitely look more comfortable than they truly are, though. Even though you can feel it. They're made of steel and carbon, and presumably other stuff you can't bother to remember. Robotic slime. Neat thing about it, It is quite outstanding that you can do that, you know, like feel things. What's it like to feel things? I don't know. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you eventually. I'm a robot!